Simo Häyhä, the deadly marksman who is feared by all the world's military in history. There are several contenders for the deadliest snipers in the world. Those holding the title in recent history include an unnamed Royal Marine, who is understood to have tallied 173 confirmed kills while fighting, and the late U.S. Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, who claimed at least 150 officially confirmed kills and whose exploits are portrayed in the Oscar-nominated film American Sniper, based on his own best-selling book of the same name. Here, however, researcher and doctor of military sciences Taipo Saarelainen writes about perhaps the deadliest snipers of them all in the history of modern warfare, Finnish sniper Simo Häyhä. According to an American study, an average of 7,000 rifle-caliber shots were required to achieve one combat kill during the First World Combat. During the Vietnam combat this number had increased to 25,000. Considering, however, that a professionally trained sniper only requires an average of 1.3 shots to attain the same outcome, these figures are startling. So for Simo Häyhä's 542 kills, 13,550,000 bullets would have been used in Vietnam to kill an equal number. Häyhä's count of 542 is an all-time record for a sniper in any conflict and was achieved in only 98 days of the winter combat, which took place in 1939–40 between Häyhä's Finland and the Soviet Union. For those 98 days, Häyhä conducted lone missions to the front lines, tormenting the Russians and picking off soldiers one by one, until he was shot and injured by an exploding bullet a few days prior to the combat ending. But what made him the deadliest sniper ever, and how was he able to achieve this? Häyhä, in many ways, had the perfect preparation for becoming a sniper. He grew up on a rural farm and loved to hunt, feeling that you are only entitled to something from nature if you are willing to be part of it. His specialty were foxes, one of the more difficult animals to hunt, due to their small stature, speed and ability to hide. He would test himself with birds which would flee at even the slightest sound, reflection or sudden movement. He developed techniques so he could remain silent and hidden for long periods to ensure he got his target, and learnt about how a gun would react to wind and rain. Also, from all his experiences, he grew very adept at estimating distances, so he could prepare his rifle suitably when attacking the target. His attitude and personality to hunting was reflected in his approach to sniping. In my interviews with Häyhä, he told me that he had never been scared during the combat, and that he felt no hatred for the enemy. Instead, he only concentrated on ensuring his weapon was well supported and stable, and that his personal feelings and emotions would not impinge on his ability as a marksman. Häyhä did not mind spending hours upon hours on his own, and would even go to his shooting nests at night to ensure they were well hidden and strong. His behavior might be described as obsessive, because of his dedication to the job at hand. He would clean his weapon more often than most soldiers. He would perform maintenance operations before starting a mission and immediately upon completing a mission. Especially in the -20 temperatures of the Finnish winter, proper gun maintenance was essential to avoid it jamming. His gun was an M28-30, one that he had owned before the combat, without even a telescopic sight. This rifle was the standard-issued one for Finnish infantry in the late 1930s, and Simo liked the reliability of the model and the consistency of its shot. It was a basic weapon but one he had mastered from years of experience with it. HAYHA, when conducting his operations, took every detail into account. He would even pour water into the snow in front of him so that the muzzle blast would not expose his location by disturbing the light snow. He became a master of using sounds, smoke and artillery fire to cover his movements when changing positions. And when tracking the enemy, he would memorize the shapes of the terrain, depressions, shadows, tree trunks and such. If anything had changed in appearance, it was a possible sign of enemy activity. One thing Simo never did was climb trees to shoot the enemy. In fact, he laughed when I asked him that question. He said he would have been exposed immediately and with no escape route. It is a persistent myth that snipers do this. Another myth that Simo busted for me was that snipers aim for headshots. The head is a small size compared to the torso, and for that reason HAYHA always fired at the center of the torso. Shooting an enemy should only be done so when the probability of killing the enemy is at its highest, and if aiming at a head, a slight misjudgment leads to a miss which can give away your position with no gain taken.